We are on lesson 3, which is adding numbers with the same signs. We're going to learn a couple different strategies for how to do this. So the first one we're going to start with is counting on method. So first it says represent the sum of 3 plus 5 using arrows on the number line. So I'm going to start at 0 and create my line. So my arrow, I should have a line from 0 all the way to 3, and that's where my arrow should point. So my arrow is 3 units long. It points to the right. Then we go back up to my 3, it says plus 5. So where that arrow ends, I'm going to start my next arrow and go plus 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to circle where it ends. So the arrow that represents 5 is 5 units long. It points to the right as well. The sum, where both of them end, is at 8. So if I wanted to represent the sum using just one arrow, how long would the arrow be and what direction would it point? It would be 8 units long. And it would go to the right. Write the number sentence that represents the sum. Well, I'm going to take my 3 plus 5 and just write that that equals 8. Do you think that adding 2 positive numbers will always give you a greater positive number? Why? Yes. Both of my arrows, since they both point to the same direction, so they both point right, so I'm going to write both arrows point to the right. So since they point in the same direction, that means I'm going to have the larger arrow, the arrow that represents a sum, pointing in the same direction as well. All right, our next strategy, we're going to practice this now. So represent the sum of -3 and -5 using arrows that represent the -3 and -5. So I'm going to start at 0 and go 3 units to the left. So how long is the arrow that represents -3? That is also 3 units, but this time it's going to the left. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That is my heater. I am not sure what is happening, but we're just going to keep going. Okay, how long is the arrow that represents -5? That one's going to be 5 units. It's just going to go in the opposite direction, so 5 units to the left. So starting at -3, 5 units to the left is going to bring me to -8. So my sum is -8. If I wanted to write one arrow that represents the sum, it would be 8 units long to the left. Do you think that adding 2 negative numbers will always give you a smaller negative number? Why? Well, this is going to be the same exact reason as what we wrote before. Yes, they're both pointing to the left. So since those arrows are both pointing to the same direction, I should have the sum pointing in the same direction. So yes, because both arrows point in the same direction. Right. On the next page, we're using our second strategy, which is with integer chips. So if you are in class, you will actually be using chips that are double-sided, so one side is red and one side is yellow. I am going to be using little circles that I have. So I have, let's just make them. So I'm going to have red circles. Oops, hold on. I want to make a circle. Red circle and yellow circles. Oh, we're going to use orange because that's really light. So my orange is your yellow in class, okay? So my red is going to represent my negative, and my yellow is going to represent my positive, okay? I'm going to copy my positive chip. So in class, you're going to be using this work mat that's over here. So you're going to be putting your chips on there, but because we are just drawing, you're just going to be drawing on your notes right now. So I'm going to show 5 plus 2 positive chips. So I'm going to put 5 on one side, 2 on the other. So I'm just going to paste this 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whoopsie. Well, this is harder than it looks. 4, 5, so there's 5 on that side, and 1, 2. Okay, so now I'm just going to count up the total amount. Since they're all the same color, I'm just going to add them all together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, how did I? Let's delete this smaller one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means my answer is 7. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So that's how I'm going to model it using my integer chips. So down below, we're going to do that same thing. So using my chips, you can use your mat, or you can just draw them out here. So I'm going to show. So I've got 2 plus 3. So 1, 2, plus 3. 1, 2, 3. So in total, there are 5. So my answer is 5. I'm going to do the same thing for my next problem. But this time they're negative, so I'm going to go up and just copy my negative chip. I've got 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3, plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So since they both have the same sign, I'm just going to count up the total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Since all of those are negatives, I should have negative 7 as my answer. Next page. So we're going to try it on our own. We're going to do the integer chips and the number line. So negative 3 plus negative 1. So I'm going to use my red integer chip. So I need 3 of them. Plus 1. So 4 integer chips. So my answer should be negative 4. I'm going to verify this with my number line. So I'm going to go 3 to the left plus 1 more to the left. And I should end at negative 4. So my answer should be the same. My last strategy is using what we call our rule. So our rule is that we add the numbers, but we keep the sign of the larger number. So before I even actually go through and solve the sum, I just want to know, without actually calculating, if it's positive or negative. Well, the larger number is 4, the absolute value, okay? Absolute value of negative 4 is 4. So the larger number is 4. 4 has a negative sign, so my answer should be negative. 9 is the larger number. 9 is positive. My answer should be positive. 6 is the larger number. My answer should be negative. And 11 is the larger number, so my answer should be negative. So that's with my strategy. On the next page, You can do any of those 3 strategies to find the answer. So go ahead and pause the video, calculate for these 5 examples, and then just unpause the video and check your work. 15 plus 7, you should get 22. -4 plus -16 should give you -20. -8 plus -4 should give you -12. -200 plus -100 should be -300. And -2 plus -4 plus -1, you're going to do 2 at a time. So -2 plus -4 is -6. I'm going to bring down the other one plus -1. So in total, -7. All right, that is all for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.